The views expressed on this podcast are the views of the podcast host only. The host neither represents or endorses any specific satanic organization or tradition. If you enjoyed the show, please take a moment to leave us a review on iTunes, and please tell a friend. I'd really appreciate it. You can also follow me on Twitter at RJWO15. If you have questions or comments, you can leave us a message at speakpipe.com/DIR podcast. That's speakpipe.com/DIR podcast.
This is the Dark Illumination Report podcast with RJ Womack.
Hi, everybody. I know it's been a while since we've done an episode, but I just wanted to let you know that the podcast isn't going anywhere. We're still here. In fact, I've invested quite a bit of money in the podcast, in equipment and stuff like that. So I have no intentions of going anywhere, and I have a couple of announcements to make. First, I want to let everybody know that Marie Ravensoul of In Satan's Honor is going to be joining me behind the scenes and helping out. We're also going to be starting a new schedule that's more consistent, because we're going to be adding a new segment to the show that I think everybody will like, and it's something that everybody's been asking for. I'm not ready to talk about the new segment yet, but we will be adding it in a couple of weeks. Our new schedule is going to be every other Thursday from this point forward, so just be prepared for that. So it's every other Thursday from now on. Also should probably let everybody know that Marie Ravensoul will be coming on the show to talk about her involvement with the show and why she decided to help me out at some point, although I don't have a specific date, but it will be coming. Another thing I wanted to let everybody know was that my book, Satanism, A Beginner's Guide to the Religious Worship of Satan and Demons, is now available in ebook format for anyone who's interested. Lastly, I want to invite those of you who are regular listeners to the podcast to join my email list. If you're interested in keeping up with what I'm up to or what projects I'm working on, this is the best place to find out information about that. Another reason you might want to join the e-list is because I'm going to be doing giveaways for the holidays, giving away books and other items that I think you might be interested in. As I've always said to you, I truly appreciate my listeners. So I really encourage you, if you're a regular listener to the show, to join the e-list, because I want to make sure that the books and the things I give away are actually going to people who care about Satanism and who support the podcast. If you're new to the podcast, you probably should know that this is a religious Satanism podcast dedicated to those who want to take a more devotional or religious approach to their satanic practices. I had a question from a listener that asked me whether I thought there were certain groups that were leading people astray in Satanism. And the answer is, of course there are. There are bad groups in every religion, and Satanism is certainly no exception. The question is whether they're doing it intentionally or whether they're doing it because they have a difference of opinion. There is a distinct difference. I mean, if you have groups that are deliberately deceiving people and hiding what they truly believe, and they recruit members based on that deception, then that's different than somebody who, say, just disagrees with you. Like, say, for example, if you come across an organization like the Satanic Temple, they don't claim to be a religious organization. They don't claim to be people who believe in spirituality. They don't claim to be people who believe in magic. They don't claim to be people who believe in Satan. So they're really honest about what they actually believe. So there's no deception there. But then you take an organization who purposely hides what it truly believes and uses Satanism as a tool to recruit people for what it really is all about. That's a whole different matter altogether. But in general, I think that anyone who doesn't acknowledge Satan as a god and the other demons as a god are leading people astray right from the start. That's my personal opinion. Because I believe Satan deserves respect. I believe it is Satan who gave us free will. I believe it is Satan who gave us self-awareness. So therefore, he deserves respect. And anyone who downgrades him or degrades him to something like a space alien or somebody from the planet Nibiru is disrespecting him. And that makes me angry. I think one of the reasons I get so irritated with the ancient alien kind of concept that's kind of entered into Satanism is because the theories of Zechariah Stitchin have been largely disproven by experts in the Sumerian religion. So there's no credibility to Zecharia Sitchin. The only reason he's popular is because certain satanic groups have decided to interject his philosophy into Satanism. But the truth is, it's been discredited. It's not relevant. It's not theistic Satanism. It's not religious Satanism. And it's disrespectful to Satan. Because no matter what you may think about aliens, you have to admit that on some level, if Satan was a space alien, that makes him mortal. That makes him less than supernatural. That makes him less than a god. And that is an insult to Satan, as far as I'm concerned. Now, I realize to some of you, this may seem old school, and this attitude that I have may seem really old school and not really, up to the current time and the way we live with technology and the beliefs that a lot of people have. But you have to understand that I'm a religious Satanist. I mean, I'm the closest thing you're going to find on the internet to a medieval devil worshiper. I mean, to help give you a better understanding of what I actually believe, I believe that service to Satan is an eternal commitment. It's something that may last beyond this lifetime into lifetimes to come. So I believe it's more important than politics. I believe it's more important than nationality. I believe it's more important than one's race. I believe it's so important that all of these other things don't really matter in comparison. Look, all of this comes down to one simple point. If the group you're joining claims to be a religious satanic organization, they should be teaching you demonology. They should be teaching you demonolatry. They should be teaching you rituals about how to communicate with the demons and how to pay homage to the demons. And they should be guiding you in helping you apply the satanic philosophy to your life. They shouldn't be getting you involved in political activism or social activism that has nothing to do with Satanism. And the group should not revolve around any charismatic leader, because Satanism does not condone cult-like behavior. And if you see any of these things in any group you're thinking about being a part of, then you need to go somewhere else. Before I finish this episode, I want to make something very clear so that nobody gets the wrong impression. While I use the Satanic Temple as an example of a group that is being honest about what they believe, I want to make it clear that I'm not a big supporter of the Satanic Temple, because they are not a satanic group. They are a group of political activists who use Satanism to get attention from the media and the public to promote their political agenda. But they're honest about what they believe, in the sense that they're not claiming to be a religious organization. They're not claiming to be people who believe in Satan or worship Satan. So at least in that sense, they're being honest. Whereas other groups deliberately deceive their potential members into joining their group for whatever purposes they may have in store for them. Anyway, that's it, guys. I hope you'll join me for the next episode.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Illumination Report podcast. For the latest news headlines, show information, and more, go to rjwomack.com. That's rjwomack.com.